Uh-oh, I'm back. We'll do the song first, too. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome Unity of Sarasota. How we doing out there? God, it's a beautiful day. It's such a beautiful day, and it's such a great day to also have a friend of mine, a long time. We go way back. We even wrote a song together, and we didn't know it. But so Charley Thweatt has been a friend of mine, and he's been here before. How many have seen Charley before? Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff today for us. So we welcome prolific songwriter with 18 CDs, Mr. Charley Thweatt, with Ocean of Love.
Well, thank you. Good morning. We'll just do good morning all for the next half hour. So this song is called Ocean of Love. I want to get you involved. So would you stand up where you are? And this is about the love that's all around us all the time. So I want to just kind of get us going. So would you rock to your right and clap, your left and clap? It's going to be pretty fast. Maybe just stand there and clap. Surrounded in an ocean of love. The words are up there. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I know we are. Surrounded in an ocean of love. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I feel your heart. Surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded. Look around the room, smiles on every face. You can feel the peace, you can feel the grace. We are all in motion, some things are apart, but life is working out. You can feel it in your heart. Let me hear you on the chorus. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I know we are surrounded in an ocean of love. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I feel your heart. Surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded. Resting in the arms of angels we just met. I can feel a weight is lifting if I only let it. Now I have a sense of how this life can be. I want to take this freedom home, so I'll take it home in me. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I know we are surrounded in an ocean of love. surrounded in an ocean of love. I feel your heart, surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded, surrounded in an ocean of love. I know we are surrounded in an ocean of love. Surrounded in an ocean of love. I feel your heart, surrounded in an ocean of love. We are surrounded. Thank you.
Wow, that was a great way to get it started. That was awesome. Can you hear me okay? Great. All right, so we'd like to welcome you to the Unity of Sarasota today, where something good and wonderful and elevating is always happening. And as a result of that, we're going to do our normal affirmation that we have that sort of sets the tone for the rest of the service. So if you would all repeat after me, which is on your slide there. We are a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, transforming lives. And then, okay. So it looks like we have a guest slide here. So do we have any guests here today? We do. Okay, could you stand up for us? Wow, we got a lot of guests. That's awesome. Wait a minute. No, you get to keep standing, please, because Bruce is going to give you a nice little gift. And just so you know what that gift is, it's a necklace that's sort of a Floridian necklace that welcomes you here. And if you put it on, it'll actually give you the ability to get in the front of the line. So a lot of people put that on. And there's also a guest card there. And in your packet, you have the guest card and a pin. And if you would like us to have you on the mailing list, that would be great. You just fill it out, put it in the tithe plate, or you can put it in Fellowship Hall, and we'll put you on our mailing list. And that way you can keep apprised of everything going on. And so let's start over here with this lady that's getting ready to sit down. Where are you from? Oh, I'm sorry.
And I live in Bradenton. I came here from out west.
Congratulations.
I've been in Unity for a long time in Bend, Oregon.
How wonderful. Welcome. And this other lady who sat down on me. And gentlemen, too.
This is Sharon and Larry, and we're from Michigan. We come here every year for a month. And when we come here, we come to Unity.
Welcome back. And this lovely lady back there.
I'm Kathy Walsh, and I'm here with my sister Doreen, who's been coming to Unity for a bit, and I'm from Massachusetts, and I just already love this.
Good. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. And the couple right here, I think.
I'm Debbie Murphy, and my husband Dennis, and we're from Colorado.
Oh, thank you for coming today. And the leopard lady.
I'm Donovan. I live here in Sarasota, but originally from New York State.
Well, welcome. Thank you all for coming today. We're waiting for the slide. All right, so Cheryl, we have kids today? We do? Where are they? Oh, there you are, okay. So what we like to do is welcome our kids every day. We have another one over there, and Cheryl, of course, is our lovely lady who takes care of them. But before they leave, follow me in saying that we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the living spirit in you. And just know that you have your own inner child that you're saying that to as well, because we need to keep it properly fed too. And then we're going to get into our announcements part of it. We'll try to keep it short and sweet, but this Friday, something special is going to be happening here with Amy and Matthew. They're going to be doing a 7 last teachings of Jesus from the cross. So 7 o'clock Friday, it should be very inspirational, so I hope you get a chance to come if it works in your schedule. That would be awesome. And it is going to be love offering. And then on Sunday, this is what I've been waiting for a month. We're going to have our Easter brunch, and it's going to be down in Fellowship Hall. And I've already bought my ticket. It's $24 if you buy in advance. They're going to have lots of goodies, ham, all the usual stuff. They're going to have some omelets and things like that. So it should be fun. And that way you get to have Easter with your spiritual family, which I think is kind of nice. So I hope if you haven't bought, if you haven't bought your ticket, go pick it up at the bookstore, okay? Because it's going to cost you $4 more if you get it when you come in, because we got to prepare for you. And then I know we have a lovely lady here by the name of Dr. Darcy Lord. Is it, oh, this lady right here, okay. Well, she is our author of the month. Yes, thanks for standing up. And I was reading her book, which was about stress, which we don't, none of us have any of that here. But what's really cool about it, she has a 3-step process for self-care to help you change that from stress to rest or digest or something else. What is the other one?
Rest, digest, and heal.
And heal, there you go.
Warm residence, little chapters that honestly will make you feel a little happier and feel a little bit more calm and a little bit more ease.
There you go. We can all use that in our lives. So anyway, go by the bookstore and pick that up on your way out if you have a chance. And then we also want to honor the April Artists of the Month. Now, they're not here because we honored them last month. So anyway, they are the artists of Palmer Ranch, and when you run down the area down there, you'll see all of their different artwork. So pay attention to it. There might be something there that's calling your name. So do that and have fun with it. Now, here is the really good news. The really good news is, I think you all know that we have an interim minister coming, right? Yes. Okay. Well, her official day of coming and starting her interim ministership here is Sunday, 4/16. So that's the day after, or the Sunday after Easter. So since she's going to be new and this is going to be her starting out on her journey, so I would really appreciate it if you all come back and you bring your friends so that we have a full house and we can welcome her with a full house when she comes on the 16th. Okay, you got it? All right. And then we also have a Friday's night Spirit Express. Now, I've never been to this. I always have intentions, but for some reason, by the time Friday night rolls around, I seem to be too tired. So I hope you aren't going to be like that. Come, they're going to have a curtain. Cheryl Coffey is going to be doing it, and I didn't even know what it was. I had to look it up, so I apologize, but I hear it's great singing and spiritual elevation and messages and all the good stuff. So it's going to be a very uplifting event. So if you come on Friday, you can start your weekend out right. Oh, okay, she's going to, that's, the Friday Express is when, you guys? This Friday. That's what I thought. No, that's, no, that.
No, that's the 7 last teachings of Christ.
They're in Fellowship Hall.
Fellowship Hall that day?
And it will be this Friday. Who knows?
Tim, is it this Friday? It is, in Fellowship Hall? So we're having 2 things at once. So Fellowship Hall for Curtin and the 7 last teachings of Christ on Friday in Sanctuary. Got it? Thank you. I got it.
Okay, we got it.
Ask
All
me if you don't got it.
All right, now, how many of you have been to our healing and harp and crystal bowl concert that we've had? Not too many. Oh, what? Well, you better come. Okay, so they're going to start blessing us with their lovely abilities coming up every second Thursday of the month. But now that isn't going to start until 4/13. So just know that they're going to come in. It is going to be a love offering, but you will definitely transform while you're there. The guy who does the crystal bowls is amazing. And then today happens to be birthday and anniversary Sunday. So you're lucky if you're here. How many of you were born in the month of April? Stand up. Stand up. All right. So
let's sing, tell them a little bit about it.
So this is a nice little thing you have on the back of the seat, and what it does is this is an envelope that you can put money in. And what you're doing is celebrating the number of years you've been alive. Isn't that awesome? So that way we get to celebrate it with you. So anyway, if you want to just put your name and the date, put a little donation in there to celebrate your birthday, and then put it in the plate when it comes out. And then that way we'll be able to help you celebrate that.
So let's sing happy birthday to them.
Yes, let's do that. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. So we're going to have
Are
some
you ready to sing along with me now?
more wonderful music, you guys.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard, every thought and feeling is spoken word. What your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. Sounded good.
Well, I was told that we were going to stand for this next. That's a beautiful song. Isn't that
You like
sweet?
that?
That's
David
sweet.
Friedman wrote that.
I met David once up at a Unity Church in Connecticut, and he's a real theater guy. I think he's been in the business forever. So let's stand and do what I think we call our opening prayer. Would you stand again? And we'll read what's on the, and I think we know this one by heart. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are individualized expressions of God. And So it is. Have a seat. I'd like to just take a moment to go into a little time of meditation. And let's just have you do a little light piano. Yeah, let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath. So with today being Palm Sunday, we are entering this, what's called Holy Week, Easter week. You know, the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection. And in many ways, it's the story of our lives. We fall, we rise again. And in the end, it's really just about coming home to who we are. You know, 2,000 years ago, this was the story about Jesus. And today, maybe it's more a story about you. Maybe you felt crucified at times. And then you get to look within and ask, do I have faith that I can rise again? Do I know that who I am truly is beyond death? Can I see that Christ self in me? I am the Christ, living my life day by day. We can always come home to that truth. We can always rise again. I am the Christ, living my life day to day. Let's say that together. I am the Christ, living my life day to day. Just take a moment to step into that, to feel it, and to see how that rings in you. I am the Christ, living my life day to day. Let's place our hands right over our heart center and really give energy to live as that Christ self. And so it is, and so we are. Amen.
So this is my favorite slide. And repeat after me. Thank God within and all around us. And just take a moment to feel what that feels like. And when you look at that beautiful slide, you can see everybody embracing that and how wonderful it is. So, is it time for Charley? All right, it's time for Charley. I know you all have seen him before. At least some of you have from all the hands that came up. But I'm going to read his bio anyway. So I was amazed. Okay, first of all, I had to ask him how to pronounce his last name. So it's Charley Thweatt, and he's our today's guest speaker, and he's a musician. He's been a favorite at Unity Churches for 40 years, and his talks, concerts, and workshops. His presentations has taken him to over 15 countries. Isn't that wonderful? 6 continents, including leading 14 of his spiritual Italy tours. Charley has been the musical opener for such luminaries as Wayne Dyer, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Ram Dass, Tony Robbins, and Louise Hay. And his music has appeared on national TV and radio. Be sure to take Charley home with you because he does have thumb drives and CDs, so you can put him and listen to him on the way home. So let's please welcome Charley.
I'm going to do a song to lead into my talk, and I think at some point I'm reading this, the affirmation that you saw blow by, so we'll get to that in a minute. This song came to me when I was in Italy on one of my trips, and there's a song about, a lyric about halfway through I really love, so I want to make sure you catch it. And the line goes like this. Why do people really love you? Why do people love you? And it says, is it the things you do? No, it's who you are. And this song is really getting at just being aware of who we are, not what we're doing, not what we're trying to create, what impressions we're trying to give, but at the core, just really tuning into who we are as spiritual beings. So this is called, I don't know what it's called, we'll find out later. Waves of light landing on the shore that is your heart. It's what you are. It's what you are. Open arms that welcome you in spite of what you thought. It's what you are. It's what you are. And could it be that it was always only you keeping love away, thinking it would never stay? What if you could see that love is always here, living right inside? Would you change your mind? Angel wings are holding you in such a gentle peace. It's what you are. It's what you are. Merging into everyone as far as you can see. It's what you are. It's what you are. And could it be that it was always only you keeping love away, thinking it would never stay? What if you could see that love is always here, living right inside? Would you change your mind? Oh. Why do people love you? Do you think that it's the things you do? No, it's what you are. Sing, it's what we are. It's what we are. It's what we are. It's what we are. Waves of light landing on the shore that is your heart. It's what you are. It's what you are. Open arms that welcome you in spite of what you thought. It's what you are. It's what you are. And could it be that it was always only you keeping love away, thinking it would never stay? What if you could see that love is always here, living right inside? Would you change your mind? Oh, why do people love you? Do you think that it's the things you do? No, it's what you are. It's what we 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 are. Okay. So this is our core value affirmation. Will you say these words with me? Like a bow cutting through the water, we stay awake to the adventure of life and to God's constant presence. God's constant presence. And this is based on the title of my talk today, The Bows of Our Boats, Awake in the Adventure. The bows of our boats, awake in the adventure. So somewhere up here are my notes. I will find them eventually. Did they walk away? Anyone? Okay, thank you. Anyone? Let's see. Very good. There we are. Okay, well. So really what I'm going to look at is staying present in life, staying awake, and how sometimes it's so easy to fall asleep. And this is not new information, but hopefully I'll say it in a new way, and you'll be something will go, aha, or some new reminder. I love opening with a joke, so I have a new joke for you, and it goes a little something like this. There are these two old codgers driving down Main Street going to lunch, and so Dave is driving, and Paul is the passenger, is sitting there. And they're tooling down Main Street in just this simple little town, and at one point, Paul, the passenger, is sitting there. He thinks, wait a second, did Dave just drive through a red light? Well, maybe I'm just imagining things. I'll just have to pay better attention. And about a minute later, Dave drives through a second red light, and Paul says, oh my God, I don't think he's paying attention. If he does it again, I have to say something. And of course, Dave drives through a third red light, and finally Paul says, well, hey Dave, I need to tell you, I don't know if you saw this, but you've driven through 3 red lights. And Dave says, I'm driving? So, awake in the adventure. Awake in the adventure. I want to tell you about a friend of mine. Her name is Tana. She always liked to say Tana like Montana, so T-A-N-A. And Tana was a dear friend, and knew her for 33 years. We raised our kids together since they were both 6 months old. So my son and her daughter are like brother and sister. They still know each other and work together as 35-year-olds. And Tana was this brilliant, funny, smart, artistically talented. She had so many skills and things going for her. However, for some reason, she could never really quite get her life on track. It never quite clicked for her. And it was the strangest thing, but she was brilliant and funny and all these skills, but can never just quite make anything work in her life. And then a few years ago, she got a diagnosis that she had cancer. And she beat it. She got through it and was in remission. And then it came back again. And she went into remission again, and it returned a third time. And this time the doc said, I'm sorry, but it's terminal. There's no way we can get around this. And by that time, I wasn't living as close to her, but I came and visited in what turned out to be about 8 weeks before she passed. And what was strange about this visit for me was that she looked the happiest she had ever looked. She was so peaceful and just kind of at this place of joy in her life. And I think, when I think about it, that it seems like she had been carrying this weight her entire life. And now when she saw that she didn't have to be anything for anybody anymore, it's like she dropped the weight off her shoulders and just let herself enjoy life. Isn't that strange and odd? And for me, it kind of begs the question, like, do we do that in some way? Like, do we have to be on our deathbed to finally let go of the weight we're carrying, of the things that hold us back, of the things that we feel like we're not living up to? And it felt like she didn't have to live up to anything anymore. Like she could just go, and just kind of be who she was, that natural, joyous self. So strange. Do we have to be on our deathbed to let go of these weights that we're carrying? And so eventually I did get the call that she had passed on this Thursday afternoon, and just kind of feeling her and feeling our history together. And then it was time for bed, and I was lying there with my wife and just looking at my wife's eyes. And I don't know if you have this experience, but when you hear that a friend of yours passes, does some part of you go, oh my God, I need to stay awake. I need to not let this life slip by. And so many times we get on automatic. And for me, it's that same thing. And it's like, oh yeah, we've got to make these moments precious. Because often we are just kind of sleepwalking through life. We go on automatic. And so I'm lying in bed looking at my wife's eyes, and she can tell I'm thinking about something. So what's going on, Charlie? And I said, well, I'm kind of seeing this vision in my mind. And the picture I'm seeing is like the bow of a boat cutting through the water. And it's, for me, that's kind of like this movement of this moment in time cutting through time. Like it's like this symbol of time passing. And I'm also hearing a few words in my head. And she says, well, you want to go write them down? I said, yeah. So I got up and got a piece of paper, and had these 4 lines come. And then 4 more lines came, and 4 more lines. And eventually it was this poem inspired by my friend's passing. So I want to read it to you. And I don't know, have you ever been to a talent show or like a church talent show or at a retreat, and someone says, I'm going to share a poem, and you realize they have 12 pages stapled together? This is not that long, okay? Okay, so it goes like this. We are the bows of our boats, the leading edge of our venture. There's so much down below that you may never see. And I think that's true in each of us. We may have a lot of stuff in below deck that we're not seeing in each other, but it's maybe like that weight on her shoulders. We are each moment in time the way we face our future. The one you see in these eyes is not my history. And that's an invitation to be with each other where we are right now in this moment and beyond our history. Just can you be present with what's happening right now? And if you feel some weight, it's holding me together, a ballast to be sure for when I hit rough seas. I think sometimes we become familiar with our story, familiar with our weight, with our hard experiences, and we maybe use them to get through things, but those aren't who we are. Sometimes it's nice to break free of our old stories. So for when I hit rough, but that's not who I am, that weight, or barely who I was ever. So catch me if you can in every breath's release. Again, just right here in this present moment. Catch me here beyond my story. And so it finishes up, so may you gleam and may you shine and find your place beyond time, beyond this world. May you know that sweet line that is you and not you beyond time. So there it is. Isn't that beautiful? Sometimes my talks choke me up. It just drives me crazy. So I'm going to take a deep breath. We are the bows of our boats. So I think it's a great image, isn't it? The way the bow cuts through the water like on a glassy lake. Just that's what we're going through. And can we stay awake right here in this present moment? I want to tell you another story, and this has to do with, I've had the pleasure of going to Japan 3 different times, and this was about the first time I went to Japan. And I was on a flight from San Francisco to Tokyo nonstop. And I'll precede this by telling another story. As a kid, I grew up a family of 4 kids and my parents, and we had a friend who was a pilot. He was a naval aviator. And we were able to get from him a floor-to-ceiling map of the world. It was a military map he was able to get for us. And that became our wallpaper in our little kitchen eating area. That's where we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so my parents invented this little game for the 4 of us kids, which was, can you find Madrid? Can you find Lisbon? Can you find Perth, Australia? So we'd be just, looking for, learning the world, learning geography by having fun in the kitchen. So I had a good sense of geography as a kid growing up. So back to the plane going to Tokyo, I was in it was a 747, Japan Airlines, and they put me in a seat. It was a coach seat, but it was up on that hump, they have that second level at the front of the plane, and actually the cockpit is up there too. So I'm about 8 rows behind the cockpit, just sitting there, flying, and all the window shades are pulled down because people want to sleep on the way over. So I'm not sleeping, but about 2.5 hours into the trip, I'm thinking, I wonder if we're over the Aleutian Islands right about now. So I went over to the shade, went, voot, and there they were, just going off into the distance, like, oh my God, I've never seen those in my life. And then voot, just to close it, not to bother the people sleeping. Well, half a second later, the Japan Airlines flight attendant shows up next to me and says, would you like to see that from the cockpit? And I'm thinking, sure. I mean, we don't do that in America, but yeah. And so she walks me up 8 rows, knocks on the cockpit door, unlocks it, opens it up, and talks to them. And they say, yeah, sure, let them in. And so suddenly, I walk in. It's larger than you would think it would be. It's pretty large on a 747. And it's the pilot, the co-pilot, and then the third seat behind them in the center as a third seat with a sheepskin over it, and they say, hey, have a seat. And I said, okay. So now I'm sitting on a sheepskin going across the Pacific, and they actually raised the visors so I could see the Aleutians in both directions. It was really beautiful, these snow-capped volcanic, like string of pearls of islands in both directions. And they started asking me, so is it your first time going to Japan? I said, yes, it is. And are you on business or pleasure? And, well, a little bit of both. I'm doing some workshops and concerts, but also just want to see your beautiful country. And so, concerts. Well, what kind of music do you do? And I never know how to answer this, like spiritual, pop, folk, I don't know. And I say, I don't know, but actually my guitar's outside in the closet right here. Would you like to hear a song? And say, sure, bring it in. So now I'm sitting on the sheepskin seat with my guitar strapped over my shoulder. And I'd just written a song about 2 weeks earlier that it kept running in my mind constantly. So that's kind of the song I just started playing. And as soon as I started singing it, I realized, oh my God, this is the song about their life. Because this is how the song starts. Sometimes I feel like a bird flying over the ocean. And they seem to really love it. When I finished singing it, the co-pilot, the younger guy, he kind of turned around and looked at me, and he looked kind of mesmerized and dazed. And so I'm thinking, I hope this thing's on autopilot. And he says, wow, I love that song. Are you doing any concerts in Tokyo? I would love for my wife to hear that. And I said, yeah, I am. So I got his contact info. I had somebody call him to give him the information. And when it came time for the concert, I used translators to tell stories. And so I told the story of what happened, on that flight. And then at the end, as the punchline, I got to say, and there on the back row is my Japan Airlines pilot and his wife. And the whole crowd went, ooh, and it was so much fun. So I want to ask you a question. What if, when the flight attendant came up and said, would you like to see that from the cockpit? What if I'd said, oh, no, I don't want to bother anybody. That's fine. No, we need to stay awake in our adventure. There's opportunities that are knocking on the door all the time. Invitations, something you might not think you would be doing. Awake in the adventure. Things are coming at you every day. Are you saying yes? No, that's okay. Or no, I'd rather stay home. How many times have you not stayed home and realized, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't stay home? You know that one? Have you seen that happen over and over again? It's like, I was going to stay on the couch. It's like, I'm so glad I said yes. Awake in the adventure. I have a friend named Alan Cohen. He's a wonderful author. He wrote The Dragon Doesn't Live Here Anymore and some other wonderful books. Does that name ring a bell with anybody? Alan Cohen. A fairly recent book he wrote is called A Course in Miracles Made Easy. First of all, I don't believe that, but I'm sure it's a good book. He's a wonderful author, beautiful heart, soul of a man. And There's another book he wrote a while back, and I love this title. The title is Joy is My Compass. Joy is my compass. Let joy be your north arrow. You know, what pulls you? What pulls you toward joy in your life? How can let that be the signal of which direction to go? Joy is my compass. My wife was telling me about a study. It was called the Happiness Project. And a woman was studying what does it take to be happy. And part of it is honesty. And, you know, honesty with yourself, like what does make you happy? You know, joy is my compass, and what doesn't. And as she was really truthful with herself, she realized, and this is kind of odd for me to be saying, but she realized she really didn't like music that much. Isn't that interesting? I mean, most people wouldn't say that, but that was true for her. And if you're always busy trying to fit in and pretend like, oh yeah, I like music, you know. So just things like that. Are you willing to be honest about what really calls you? What's really true for you? So another thing about staying awake in the moment that I've noticed, and something which I'm calling the pigeonhole effect. Now, do you know what pigeonholes are? Like in an old mail room, you'd have all the rows and rows where people, you know, put the letters, put the envelopes, row after row of squares. Think of those openings, each of those pigeonholes, as moments in your life, or say moments in your day. So in a day's time, have you ever noticed, I've had this happen, I'm sure you have. Let's say you're on a 7-day vacation, and it's day 2, and you know somebody that's on the vacation with you, you're having a conversation, and you're saying, I can't believe we've only been gone 1 day. It feels like so much has happened. Do you know that feeling? You know, and it's like, oh my God, we did this, we did that, we did this. Is this only day 2? I can't believe it. And for me, what's happening is you're filling so many of those moments with activities and with moments that you are awake. You're awake for your moments. And then other weeks just kind of fly by in the doldrums, like you didn't do that much. And all these pigeonholes, nothing went in them. And you realize, like maybe sometimes if you're at the computer and you realize that 8 hours just went by, well, it's midnight? How did it turn to midnight? You know, it's the pigeonhole effect. So the invitation is, how many things are you going to fill your pigeonholes with? How many opportunities will you give yourself to stay awake to life? To not be on automatic, to not be sleepwalking through your moments. There's a quote from A Course in Miracles I want to share. A sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need correct. A sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need correct. And what I think is true is that you can only be connected to God when you're present to this moment. I don't think the connection to God happens in your thoughts about the future, your worries about the past. I think it happens when you show up right here. This is the only place you can be connected to God, is when you are awake in your adventure. And often it comes from when you're following joy as your compass. You know, because that's really your inner guidance calling you to where you need to be, where you were designed to be, where your heart's calling you to be. Awake in your adventure, riding the bow of that boat into each moment. And so it is. Thank you. So Rob emailed me like a week ago and said, hey, are there some songs I can play on? And I said, yeah. So it's fun to get to do a little bit of music
I love this
together.
song. This is a great song. I'm enjoying this song.
Yeah, thanks. Finally, a song he enjoys. That's great.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. That's not what I said.
What are you talking about?
So this song is called Wave After Wave, and I wrote this sitting on a cliff in Hawaii. And what happened was it's a lava rock wall, basically, looking way down to the waves crashing. It's on the remote jungle side of the big island. so not a beach. And what I noticed when I looked down, there's these big boulders, and it occurred to me that maybe 100 years ago, those boulders were part of this wall I'm sitting on, you know, so, but these waves, they don't stop. And they're just breaking down this wall. And, you know, waves are coming at us that don't stop. You know, it's like waves are polishing us constantly. You know, things that are coming at us, and we get to learn how to deal with them. So that's really what this is about. And in the first verse, you'll hear about things that are kind of unbearable that we need to let go of. And then the second, about halfway through the song, instead of breaking down the wall, we realize we can let down the wall in our lives. So wave after wave, I'll invite you to sing as soon as possible. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Will you sing that? Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seem so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Sing with me. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Whoa, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. Your love is like a garden that you keep offering. You wrap me in that fragrance, and I keep opening. Wave after wave after wave after wave after. I'm letting down the wall. Whoa, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave. I'm letting down the wall. I'm lost in useless patterns that seem so comfortable, and things that used to work are now unbearable. Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave, I'm letting down the wall. Whoa, wave after wave after wave after wave after wave, I'm letting down the wall. 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 Thank you. Back on this mic? Yeah. So do a couple of quick announcements. I want to invite you. I'm doing a workshop this afternoon, and I think there are sandwiches being provided if you're staying, so if you want a little bite to eat, and then 12:15 to 1:45. And this is called Take Your Power Back. What I'll be doing is leading you through 3 different experiences. But rather than just, sometimes you go to a lecture and it's just talk, talk, talk. Well, I'll do a little talking, a little music, but also get you involved in an experience where you'll see how to do this in 3 areas of your life to be more anchored to your true power. I also want to mention that if you want to take my music home, there are CDs in the lobby. If you want all 18 albums for $30 on a thumb drive, that's available, so that's not bad. 18 albums, $30, such a deal.
Wow.
And
Good
I have to say, yeah, it is a good deal, huh?
Huge deal.
Huge. This is my co-sponsor here, and I have to tell you, I love leading these tours to Italy. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Rome. 2 weeks from today, leading people around the Colosseum. So I take small groups of about 10, 12 people and bring my guitar, and we have a grand time for 2 weeks. So if that feels like something you'd like to do with me, I put some flyers on my table about that. Oh, lastly, my wife just came out with a healthy chocolate cookbook. So I know, it's pretty good. And I got to be the taste tester. So those are on the table for $10. And go home, make yourself some healthy chocolate. It's like vegan, gluten-free, and still amazing. So thanks, and looking forward to see you at the workshop. Thanks so much. Oh, yes, I'm to say that after the little lunch break, classroom A and B is where the workshop is being held. So just past the fellowship hall. Okay, thank you.
Wasn't that awesome? Yes, let's give him another hand. Love having the music with it. And by the way, I all goofed. I forgot to tell you that the church is closed on Good Friday. So don't come on Good Friday. So, and yeah, until 7. But the offices are closed, okay? So just so you know, that's what's going on. All right, we have Tim. And Tim is going to come up and say a word about something I can't even pronounce. So.
Good morning, everybody. I am usually behind the scenes doing with music and the sound here. And for a sound person, there's very few bands that a lot of time you're just like, I love being here and mixing this band. Charley's one of them. Rob's another. These are amazing musicians who make your job easy. Kudos is another one. They're going to be here Wednesday for a benefit concert. It's for the World Kitchen that's going to be feeding people from the impacted by the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. So we'd love to have you come here. It's a $20 love offering. There's information all around about it. These are amazing musicians who are going to give you a spiritual experience with mantra, guitar, vocals, and just piano and keyboard work. It's just amazing, and it's a pleasure to be able to mix. So we'd love to have you here. And again, that benefits the Turkey World Health Kitchen, or World Kitchen for Syria and Turkey. World Central Kitchen, thank you, for Syria and Turkey earthquake victims. So thank you.
And I hope you'll all join me in thanking all of these guys it takes that work back there in that little room. Because you should stop and say thank you sometime to them, because they're back there doing the slides, they're doing the sound, they're doing the camera for our internet people, and it's a big job back there. So anyway, give him some appreciation. So it's good that you actually got to meet him. Okay, now I think it's time for the chaplains, right? So our chaplains, they come up, and we want you to know who they are, because after the service, they're available for you to do prayer, any kind of prayer you want, whether you feel like you need better health, better wealth. For me, I need better learning. I'm in a training program, so I need to learn a lot. So it can be anything, but they're here to serve you, and we feel so special that we have such wonderful people to do that for you. So where do you guys hang out after the service? Just anywhere, all right? So there you go. So just pull them inside, like I did a few months ago. I pulled Amy aside. I said, I need some prayer, and she was nice enough to help me with that. And a miracle kind of took place when we did that, didn't it, Amy?
Special prayer, and they divide us into 5 different portions and put us in 5 different places at once.
So anyway, that's a wonderful thing. So thank you guys for coming up. And then now we're going to do our tithes. So for all of you, who would like to make a donation. Now, we're going to do the affirmation first. So, divine love blesses and multiplies. Say it with me. All that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly. So, who has the offering? So, everybody stand, and we're going to do our powerful prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now our peace song. I bet everybody knows that, right? There is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, and peace that was never Thank you all for coming, and come next week and we're going to hear all about Easter and prayer attention.